It's just so nice to know that I'm not gonna go into debt just because I want to get an education. Like, what a concept. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kendra and I am deine Lieblingsausländerin, coming to you live from very, very cloudy Bavaria. But we moved. So a question that I get a lot when I'm back home in New York is, why do you love Germany? What is it that you like so much about Germany? So this is my second time moving to Germany, and I usually get this question from people who haven't been to Germany. So it's hard for me to give a really concise answer. Instead, I've compiled 5 reasons why I moved to Germany. There are actually a lot more, but for now, I just want to give you guys the 5 main reasons why I decided to move to Germany and 5 reasons why I think you might be interested in moving to Germany as well. The first reason I moved to Germany is because the cost of living here is so much lower. Of course, I come from a big city, so the expenses are naturally going to be higher. But I think even compared to smaller cities in the US, the cost of living in Germany is very affordable. I usually spend about 30 euro a week on groceries. I'm a pescatarian. Fish is not cheap here. It's actually a lot more expensive. And I still manage to get away with spending about 30 euro a week on groceries. You also spend less on rent. So Berlin is known for being the cheapest European capital, and that is not an exaggeration by any means. It's getting more and more expensive and more gentrified now, of course, but you could still live relatively cheaper in a city like Berlin compared to a major city in the US. And of course the wages are a little bit lower in Germany, but I always felt that in New York, even when my wage was high, it still never felt like I had enough money. Versus here, I can live comfortably and within my means on probably half the amount of money that I was living on in the States. Another example is the healthcare system. As a student, I do have to have private health insurance, but I find that when I go visit the hospital or the doctor, it's a lot cheaper here. For example, I was in the States, I had to have a procedure where I had to have my ears drained, and I also had to have the same procedure when I was in Berlin. When I was in the States, that procedure with insurance costed me $100. When I was in Germany, that same procedure costed me about 7 euro. Euro to dollars. Or $8.50. So I have a little bit of a basis for comparison. I also had to go to the emergency room in Berlin, and I had to go to the emergency room in New York. So in New York, I banged my finger and I had to have it wrapped up, and the cost of that visit was $200. In Berlin, I got a splinter and I had to have it removed. And after the insurance paid for the bulk of the procedure, it ended up costing me less than 10 euro. Also, every time that I've gone to the doctors here, I haven't had to pay a copay compared to the US, where it depends on your insurance, but you usually have to pay a small copay when you're going to the doctor. Generally, I find that the cost of living here is a lot more affordable than it would be back home for me. The second reason I moved to Germany is because there are a lot of travel opportunities. Germany is in Western Central Europe, so it's bordered by France, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Poland. There are a lot of different places that you can go just from Germany. I don't know if you guys have heard, but it's also pretty cheap to fly and take buses and trains from different cities in Europe. And I really love that. When I first came to Germany and I studied here, I took a bus to Amsterdam the first weekend that I came, and my mind was blown that I could just get on a bus and be in another country. Versus in the US, where it would cost me probably twice as much. I can either get on a bus and either be in Canada or Mexico. That's the benefits of being in a smaller country. It's a lot easier to travel around, and it's a lot easier to get to other countries. Third reason I moved to Germany, university is free. Now, there's always one protester who says, well,
university in Germany is not really free. You still have to pay student fees.
But if you compare 120 euros a semester here versus tens of thousands of dollars a semester in the US, I'm fine with my semester fee. And the great thing about the semester fee is it also includes a ticket, so I can get on the buses for free, I can travel to other cities near my city for free, and that's all included in that small fee that I pay to go to school. Now, of course, you have to support yourself, you have to have savings or a job, some means of subsistence, but you also have to have that in the US. So I really love that public universities here are free, and you still get a very quality education. On a side note, I really appreciate the amenities that students also have. For example, student housing here is very affordable, and it's actually priced for someone who's in school full-time. It's crazy. It's just so nice to know that I'm not gonna go into debt just because I want to get an education. Like, what a concept. There are also various discounts that students get around their cities, and just all these different things that make life as a student more simplified. Fourth reason I moved to Germany is the work culture. After graduation, God willing, I will have a job. And something I love about German work culture is Germans have a lot more vacation days than Americans. I just did a quick little Google search. In Germany, the minimum holiday vacation entitlement is 24 working days a year, but a lot of companies end up offering 30 days a year. Compared to US vacation days, in 2017, the average worker with 5 years of experience at a company was given 15 days of paid vacation. So, as you can see, Germans get twice as many vacation days as Americans. Then there's this saying that I keep hearing all the time. I think they said it in Emily in Paris, that Europeans live to work, Americans live to work and Europeans work to live. So that just shows you the difference in the work culture, especially if you're in a big bustling city in the US. Your life is pretty much consumed with work. You work all day at work, you come home, you keep working, and it's just normalized there. Whereas it's nice to see that companies here prioritize vacation days a lot more, and I'm definitely looking to take advantage of that. Also, Germans tend to have longer maternity leave. Quick Google search. If you become pregnant while working in Germany, you are entitled to 14 weeks maternity leave, at least 6 weeks before and 8 weeks after the childbirth. You're entitled to 18 weeks of leave in the event of a premature birth, multiple births, or if your child is found to have a disability. There's also this system in Germany where you can take up to, I believe, 2 years of maternity leave and still continue to get 60% of your pay. That's in comparison to the US, which is the only developed nation in the world that does not have guaranteed paid maternity leave. Usually in the US, you take 6 weeks maternity leave and it is unpaid. Yeah, so just some food for thought if you're thinking about starting a family here. The last reason I moved to Germany is because Germany is clean and Germany is safe. Now, of course, this is relative for me, and I can never say that a country is perfectly safe or perfectly clean, but in comparison to my experience, I find that there's a lot less litter on the ground here. The streets are well taken care of, the parks are well taken care of, and I think it's pretty normalized here that you just don't do things like litter. Of course, the bigger city like Berlin is kind of an anomaly. There's a little more trash on the ground, but that's expected when you have more people. But generally, from what I've seen, Germany is a pretty clean country. I feel a lot safer here. I feel more comfortable walking around at night. I feel more comfortable walking around alone because crime rates are lower and there are a lot less people that own guns here. And I've never experienced something here that has made me fearful to live here. Now, once again, that's not to say that there aren't things that happen here. I read the news and I get phone calls of people telling me that they heard about all these crazy things that are happening. But in my personal experience, I feel extremely safe here, and I've never had to worry about feeling like I'm in danger in Germany. Those are the top 5 reasons why I moved to Germany, reasons why I love Germany, reasons why I think it's a great country. It's by no means a perfect country, but I think it is perfect for me. As I said, I can go on and on and on about all the things I love about Germany, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. And I hope this helped you if you're thinking about moving to Germany and making a more informed decision, or maybe just help you understand some of the reasons why Germany is so great to us foreigners. Beware, there are also things that I don't like about Germany, and that video is also coming soon. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.